Welcome back to Fire Talk. From time to time, we take a look at technology that helps us to build wildfire resilience in our communities. And so it is with Meter Me, an app, a program, a system that helps us to get our arms around our water resources. And to help us learn more about this, we're joined by Mimi Frusha from Meter Me, who is working on a project with Firewise communities, fire protection districts, and such. And we want to see how their products might help building resilience to wildfires. Mimi, welcome to Fire Talk.
Hi, Bill. It's nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
How did your company get going, and what is it all about?
Yeah, so Meter Me is actually a local company in the area, founded by residents that have experienced wildfires themselves, but also had to deal with water management issues. So Ofer Tenenbaum, among others. Originally, we're actually helped bring rural internet to Napa Valley. And as they appreciated what it meant to bring internet, they started to also understand what does it mean to understand their water resources. And as they started getting into water resources, they realized that firefighters could really benefit from getting and seeing water resources in the community. And they are now integrated with tablet command, which allows firefighters to, should a homeowner want to share their water resources with the firefighters, can share it with the firefighters that use tablet command, but also other types of technology that firefighters might be using. Essentially, it creates a layer in their incident control applications and allows them to see where there might be water to help fight fires.
What is like the 30,000-foot view of the products that you've got? Maybe you can just kind of give us an
Yeah,
overview so we can frame our conversation.
absolutely. So Meter Me, in its essence, is a water management solution for the rural community, particularly folks that may have wells, tanks, troughs, or crops that they're having irrigation systems. And so Meter Me is taking what is sensing technology, and then we'll call it transmitting and receiving technology. They rely on technology called LoRa. LoRaWAN network allows them to transmit this information across multiple miles. Let's say if you have large acreage, and think of it as like rather than a Nest to control temperature in your home where you can control it on your phone, it's the same idea. You can control your water from your phone. So in the event of a fire or any sort of evacuation, you can actually look at your phone and say, I've got so many gallons of water in my tank before you leave your property. And then that information can then be shared with the fire department. So the technology is really, think of it as remote visibility, remote control of your water system, and then the ability to share that information with someone else.
I'm thinking of one particular section of our service area, which is Big Valley, where we have a lot of vineyards, we have a lot of walnut orchards and pear orchards and stuff, a lot of ag. And is there a way for these independent farmers to use a system to kind of figure out collectively what their water resource status is?
So I would say first and foremost, I think we do believe in privacy. We appreciate water resources can be also sensitive at times, but what we do allow is a homeowner can, one, see, or property owner or farmer can see their water. They can also, if they were working with someone else, they could actually share their water information with another administrator on their account. It's like, think about it like a shared document. You can sort of share your water information, or they can choose to only share parts of their water information with others in their community. So for example, if they wanted to share tank information with just a set of just the fire department or a set of folks, they could do that. So I think it's an important piece of this technology is that you can have full visibility into your water system and choose what parts of it you also want to share with others. And so if you're thinking about fighting a fire in a community, you as a community could have a sense of what are our tank capacity or our gallons of water available within the community across a variety of properties. That would be sort of what we think of as verifiable and visible water assets in the community. Could be something that's not singular to you as a homeowner, but to the community, you could see that.
Are there success stories that you could point to that how in a fire situation a system like this has proven to be valuable?
Yeah, well, this is pretty new. I mean, I would say the ability to share it with a fire department is relatively new, but I would say the ability to see your water and know how much water you have available is has been tested. And I think where the best example, not so much with a fire, but how having visibility in your water has been how this product has really helped farmers and rural homeowners is leak detection. So if you have a leak, you will not have water in your tank when a fire comes. And so what ultimately Meter Me has allowed property owners to see very early in their in a leak cycle is rather than being months later or weeks later, they can actually detect it very early, which means they can be wildfire prepared. They can know they have water in their tank and they know it's not leaking out because if you have a leak and there's a wildfire and your pump's not running to refill your tank, you're going to lose you're not going to have that water available to fight the fire. So I think it's an important thing is it is allowing you to see your full water system so that you can be prepared in the event of a wildfire and identify things early rather than too late.
You know, I think in addition to the farm community that we talked about in just a previous question, we have an awful lot of individual homeowners. And it just seems to me that it would be valuable to them to be able to know what their water use situation is like day to day. Is there a product or part of your system that would be applicable to these folks who don't have tanks or wells?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think because the way this system is designed, you can measure what you want to measure. So if
Hmm.
you want to measure um, a, a valve, you can measure a valve. There's plenty of things that you can measure. So it doesn't just have to be a well or a tank. It is, I'd say, anything that you can put a sensor in, we can help track information, flow meters, all of those things are possibilities. So this is, I'd say, can work for a homeowner although I'd say definitely it's designed initially with the tanks and wells in mind, but it is available. It can even, and there's new technology coming online that this isn't just for water. You can actually track how your generator, turn it on and off, and be able to make sure that you can continually run your pumps and ensure that you can deliver water when electricity gets shut off.
What's the cost of putting in a system, a basic system for a homeowner to begin to monitor their water usage?
Yeah, it's going to vary, but you can run from a couple $100 to a few $1,000
Mhm.
depending on how much you want to measure. That's the initial install. And then the ongoing monitoring and subscription is going to be in the order of could be $100 to a few $100 depending on how much you want to see. And when you think about it, I sort of joke, you think about the apps on your phone and some of the things
Sure.
that you pay for it's really insignificant in the scheme of things. There are other technologies that are out there that are also available for folks to measure, but I think the robustness and the capacity of Meter Me does look different than some of the other products out there. And so people always say, oh, well, I know I can just do this one for this much. But we say you have to think about what are your needs as a homeowner and how much visibility do you want to have.
Thanks again for being with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we like to say, water wise is fire wise. And so let's take care of each other by making those water assets visible and available to our communities.